How's it, Faf? Very well batted. Um, if we go back to the last sort of test series South Africa played, just such a very different mood with so many questions about your future. Um, you must be really chuffed that obviously today was a hugely emphatic statement about your future as a test player.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. Yeah, look, I suppose it comes with the territory. The highest tree sometimes gets the most wind. And that series against England, when we possibly won't be playing our best cricket, there was a lot of pressure on me as captain of the side, and obviously then the performance side of it comes to the forefront as well. So, but yeah, had a good off season in obviously when COVID hit us. I had a bit of time to make sure that I can plan ahead and make put myself in the best position possible to play some really good cricket. As I said back then, I felt that I had a lot to offer still for South Africa in all formats, and yeah, pleasing to start the way that the series in Test cricket I did.
Shafiq and then Tinas.
Faf, well played today. I just wanted to chat about two dismissals, yours and also Timber's. Can you please take us through it? Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can hear you. My dismissal, yeah, they brought the field up, middle for middle. They brought him up, so I thought I'll just pop him over his head. When they bring the field up, the field was down the whole day, and most of the time they bring the guys up 199 and obviously 199 as well. And then try to hit it possibly a little bit too straight. It was a googly, so I should have just gone with it maybe a little bit more of a mid on. But I feel it's a shot I play really well if the field is up. And execution perhaps wasn't as good as I would like it to be. I think also I was pretty tired at that stage. So maybe my intensity of trying to make sure that I hit the ball for six instead of just buffing it to mid on, excuse the pun, but I was not in the greatest position to try to hit it for six. So I'm unfortunate. I worked extremely hard to try and get a 200 today. I was very motivated to try and get across that line for a double 100. It's something that I've always wanted to achieve, and to get so close is obviously not ideal. Saying that, I felt really good at the crease today, and I'll take my 19. Timber's dismissal. Yeah, Timber's dismissal. I mean, not much to say. He played and missed a shot and then walked off the field. So there was conviction from his side when he walked off the field. So I never thought anything less than he nicked it. The batter walks like that quickly, and you just assume it.
Did you hear anything?
I didn't hear anything. No.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Tinas, if you don't have an English question, we'll move on to Fidos, then Eddie and Aditya.
Okay, Tina says I can go. Well batted, Faf. I just want to ask you a couple of things. The one is obviously the Sri Lankan attack suffered major absences through injury. Did you feel that they were sort of really demotivated at some stages and that you could really get on top of them then? And then secondly, you've been part of lots of teams that have lost players through injury. What's your opinion on injury substitutes?
Just say that last part again about injury.
Just what is your opinion on injury substitutes, especially in times like with all the COVID situation and so on?
Yeah, I mean, I think the injury thing is a difficult one because at what point do you say it's a serious injury versus not a serious injury? I think some teams will stretch and push that boundaries. Maybe we're not sure, if the guy's not bowling well on the day, and he says, my hammy's a bit tight, and he gets replaced by a guy that comes in and gets a five. It's a tricky one. So obviously with COVID now, it's been a little bit more intense on injuries. But in saying that, I think there was enough time for us as players as well to make sure that you put yourself in a position where you physically as fit as you can be. I know I did a lot of work in this off season to make sure that I get my body to a place where it's better than it's ever been before. So I feel it's worked in my favour, and it's difficult to really challenge that fielding substitution thing because I think there'll be too much grey areas. And the first part of the question, just remind me again.
Or just how easy or difficult it was to bat against an attack that had lost so much.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously the the glaring obvious thing. They lost the ball early doors, and then it becomes a challenge for a test team or test bowling unit. As a batter, you must stretch them as far as possible into their third and fourth spells because they will be tired. And that was certainly the case. That was the message out there from us as a batting unit to make sure we catch them on an attack that is on heavy legs, and when they do, you have to make sure you push it to the max, which was from my side today was nice.
Thank you, Faf. Eddie, then Aditya. Please indicate on the chat panel who would like to take the last English question before we move to the Afrikaans tennis.
Good day, Faf. I don't want to ask. I don't want to ask any questions today, but I just want to congratulate Faf on his personal what you call 99 from 150. I think it's 150 if I'm not mistaken. With this decade. So I just want to congratulate you. You did well today under those hot conditions in Centurion. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Eddie. Means a lot. Thank you.
Aditya?
How is it, Faf? I wanted to ask, where would you rate this 100 among all your other hundreds? And how do you feel mentally about your Red Ball game after a tough series against England?
I think match situations I've definitely played a lot better hundreds. Obviously when attacks are at their hottest, where conditions are at the toughest, I wouldn't put this close to any of those hundreds. But this was more for me, I suppose, in terms of a timing and a statement point of view, just to make sure that I proved to people out there that doubted my ability, just to make sure that I can say that hasn't changed after a season or two. In fact, I'm trying to make sure that I can improve my performances. So I think it's more of that than ranked among the top 3 or 4 or 5 knocks.
Thank you, Stuart.
Faf, just in terms of personal milestones for players and what they mean for teammates, given that South Africa really hasn't had many of them in the last year, just how important is it for the morale in the dressing room, the fact that you can go out there and make 100 like that and get as close as you did to a double?
Yeah, I think there's 1 or 2 things that stands out for me from my batting this innings. It reminded me again how important it is for openers to have a good start. I think that's something that we've been challenged with the last 2 seasons. We've lost wickets in the first, second, or third, or fifth, or in the first 10 overs. We've always lost the wicket. And in Test cricket, I find it extremely important that if you can get to 50 without loss, it sets up the rest of the batting lineup in a very, very good space. The dressing room just relaxes a bit. The ball is that little bit older, so your 3, 4, and 5 doesn't come in the first 10 overs. So if I go back on us as a test team performing at our best, when Graham and Alvira opened the batting, there was always a lot of 50 without losses, and then it sets up Hash and Cullis and myself and AB and those guys coming in later. And Aiden Lendine has done it for us as well, as a partnership. But it just reminded me in this innings how important it was, the start that they gave the rest of the batting lineup. So that was something that is really important, but it is also something, a really important think for us moving forward, if you want to compete against the best teams, how well those first two start. And then obviously in terms of milestones, yes, like I said, 200 is something that I didn't spend too much time thinking about it. You know, you just want to contribute, but when you get, you know, plus 100, you start thinking about 200. And I think the biggest thing, that important thing from today is if a batter gets in, you want to make sure you cash in big, because that really does become a match-winning knock. Where sometimes if a batter gets 100 and he gets out, you know, he's played well, but it's that big hundreds that we always strive for as a batting unit, to really put the opposition under pressure. So hopefully we can put in a bit more big performances like that moving forward.
Thanks, everyone. That's it for the English questions. Tianis, you can give us your Afrikaans questions.
Yes, Faf, seker 'n weer ding om vir jou te sê, maar jy lyk goed in fiks. Dink jy in Suid-Afrika maak ons te groot ophef oor sportmanne se ouderdom? Dink jy daar moet dalk 'n kopskuif kom in die rigting van laat 'n mens moet sê staan nie dink hierdie ou is nou sê net maar 30, 34, 36, hy het nog net 2 jaar oor nie. Dink jy daar moet dalk so 'n kopskuif kom?
Ja, ek dink dit is 'n baie goeie vraag, want ek het self deur hierdie proses gegaan die laaste 6 maande of so, waar mense begin praat oor jy raak nou aan die einde van jou karier, daai tipiese sê ding van as jy by 35, 36 kom. Maar ek voel dit hang af hoe goed mens beweeg, of hoe goed jou lyf met jou praat, hoe fiks jy is. Al daai goeters dink ek vir my is baie meer belangriker as die actual ouderdom wat jy is. Ek voel ek's nou fikser as ek nog my hele loopbaan was. So ek op 36 nou beweeg beter en is fikser as baie 22, 23 jarige ouens in ons sport. So ek dink ons moet wegbeweeg van die actual ouderdom, maar eerder kyk in wat se kondisie spelers is, en wat se spasie, jy weet, so ek sê vir my nou die eerste keer voel ek die jong ouens wat by my bly kom my seker goed. So dis lekker dat ek myself bietjie kon druk en ek voel die lockdown het my baie gehelp met dit, en dit het my 'n bietjie tyd gegee om aandag aan dit te spandeer. Voorheen was daar altyd cricket, so jy kon nie regtig tyd kry om seker te maak jy sit die tyd in, en wat ek regtig wou gedoen het hierdie afseisoen was seker maak ek die goeders wat ek kan beheer, ek kon nie beheer as die cricket speel nie, maar ek kon beheer dat ek fikser word, en ek het baie aandag aan dit gesit, en ja, ek voel dit help my baie fisies, maar ook mentally.